Hello everyone, welcome to the Geoecologist. I am Dr. Krishnanand and you have been watching my videos on climatology and several other topics of geography on my channel. So in today's session, we are going to do a comparison between tropical and temperate cyclone because it is important to answer the comparative questions as well. So before we go ahead, please like and subscribe to our channel and don't forget to share the videos with others as well. So now, as in the previous lecture, we have learnt about the tropical cyclones and the temperate cyclones. Now it's time that we do this comparative analysis of this tropical and temperate cyclones. So, what will this comparison be about? It's about their origin, their formation, their characteristics, all these things which have to be compared. So by comparison of tropical and temperate cyclones, you'll be able to understand the concept in a little better way. So let's understand this comparison. So the first thing is the shape itself. What you see here, there is an ellipse, that is elliptical shape of this, right? And there is this entire wall, you have an eye. So this is what you see the tropical cyclone looks like. And what you see here in the case of temperate cyclone, it is like inverted V factor. Remember the cold front and warm front mixing together, right? So this is where frontogenesis happens and this is where convection happens. So this is the basic concept. Now let's elaborate furthermore on the comparison of these tropical and temperate cyclones. So you see the first table here. What you see? The origin, the latitude, the frontal system and formation. So these are the first four factors. Let's understand. In terms of origin, if you see, tropical cyclone have thermal origin, that is the temperature difference, the heating difference, right? So thermal characteristic in terms of, you see this in the tropics, what happens? The hot air rises up and then cold air subsides down and then there is a convection going on, and that is because of this thermal origin. So largely in the tropical region you have. But what is the origin here in temperate cyclone? It is a dynamic origin. Remember, Coriolis force is one of the factors. Apart from that, air masses and characteristics are the other factor. So that is important here, right? Then what we have is the latitude importantly. So 10 to about 30 degree. Remember, tropics, this is where it is originated, and where it is confined, the temperate one, in the mid-latitude zone, that is from 35 to 65 degree north and south of equator. Then the frontal system. How is the frontal system in tropical cyclone? It is not there. Remember, there is no frontal system in the tropical cyclone formation. It is convectional cyclonic circulation. But here the temperate cyclone is originated or based on the concept of frontogenesis only. Remember the occluded front. So this is important here. Now the formation part. Remember this threshold value of 27 to 26 degree C, the oceanic temperature, which is the threshold value. And in this situation, in temperate cyclone, it can form both on land as well as sea. But for this tropical, ocean temperature of 27 degrees C is supposed to be a threshold value. This is the larger comparison on the grounds of these factors. Now let's go to look at the other factors as well. So now if you look at these factors, season, size, lifetime, how are they related or not related? Let's understand. Tropical cyclone have a seasonal character, that is late summers, that is from August to October when you have the heat accumulation in the oceanic surface. But look at the temperate one. It is irregular. It means it is not very fixed in this particular way, but few summers and more in winters. This is a general characteristic. It is basically meaning that it is more dominating in winter and it is weaker in summers, that we have already learned as a characteristic feature of the temperate cyclone. Then in terms of size, if you see, what is there? It is limited to a smaller area in comparison, right, to the temperate one. The tropical is in a smaller area, that is about 100 to 500 kilometers. While if you see the diameter of this temperate cyclone, they vary from 300 to 2000 kilometers. So that is the difference on a larger picture, on a larger scale. So tropical is localized, if you see in that way, and temperate is on a larger area. So that is important. Now if you look at the lifetime, that how long it is there, that what is the life cycle of it. So tropical cyclone does not last for more than a week. It is maximum up to a week, right? But what happens to temperate cyclone? It is for weeks, that is about 2 to 3 weeks. So it is a long term in terms of lifetime. So it has more life and tropical has less life. That is important here. Now, if you look into this comparison in terms of rainfall, wind velocity and destruction, and isobars. What is the difference? Let's see. Tropical cyclones have heavy rainfall. Remember, heavy rainfall in a few hours. So in lesser time, more rainfall is the characteristic feature of tropical cyclones. So that is important. But remember, temperate cyclones are long-lived, but rainfall is very slow. So it is there for many days and weeks, but very less rainfall. That is important, or slow rainfall. That is important here. Then in terms of wind velocity and destruction, it is much greater, about 100 to 250 kilometers. Even it can go up to the 1200 kilometer per hour in upper tropospheric situation. Remember, so this is important, and it has great destruction power because of this wind velocity, storm surges, torrential rains, floodings, flash floodings. We have discussed that, right? So this is important characteristic of tropical cyclone, while the temperate cyclone is comparatively low in its, importantly, what we say is wind velocity and destruction capacity, right? So it stretches over a long period of time, and it is also gentler in terms of comparison. So it is maximum up to 150 km per hour. Then it has also less destruction related to flooding and torrential rains that we say, right? So that is important. Then we have isobars. So complete circles and pressure gradient is steep. Remember, this is like these isobars, complete circles and steep pressure gradient. So these isobars are very much, closely there. So it means it is falling steeply. But if you look at isobars, which are usually V-shaped and the pressure gradient is low. So remember this diagram. So pressure gradient is not in, as in case if you see the comparison to the tropical cyclone. So that is important here. And further, if you look at the path, the direction, this is where another comparison is. So tropical cyclone is basically east to west. Remember the trade wind direction, right? So it is east to west on both the hemisphere, right? But basic idea is that it is dominated by westerlies, the temperate one, right? So we know this is from west to east. So it is just opposite the tropical one in terms of direction. So other factor that you see, as you move away from the equator, you find it is gaining strength, right? Not exactly on the equator, but a little away from equator, it is actually more prominent. That is important here, right? So that is interesting. And the movement of cyclones in Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal is little different, that we need to understand. Here, these storms are superimposed upon the monsoon circulation, because this belt, as you know, in Bay of Bengal is also the monsoon belt, right? So that is important. And they move in the northern direction along with the monsoon currents. So this is what we talk about, right? So this is a little difference, but this is larger picture, that it is direction where east to west, and this temperate is west to east in a general way in terms of path comparison. Now, furthermore, when we see this comparison in terms of temperature distribution, calm region and driving force, what you observe here, let's look at one by one. So tropical cyclone, in terms of temperature distribution, remember the temperature at the center is almost equally distributed. So if this is the tropical cyclone, remember this elliptical shape, and here you have this eye of the cyclone. What is there? In the center, the temperature is equally distributed if you look at this. But temperate cyclone is something where all sectors of cyclone have the different temperature distribution. Remember, this is one important thing. So all sectors of cyclone have different temperatures in temperate cyclone, because it is because of front, warm front, cold front. So difference is there. So this is important. So this is largely uniform. This is varying. That is important. Then what you have is the calm region, right? So calmness is important. So tropical cyclone, the center of tropical cyclone is known as eye. The wind is calm at the center with no rainfall. Remember, the cold wind is subsiding here in the center and it is diverging away. So central part is actually the calm zone, right? So this is important. And in a temperate cyclone, what happens? There is not a single place where winds and rains are inactive. So everywhere in the entire stretch, the entire area has this stretch of winds and rainfall which are active. That is important. Then in terms of driving force, remember, it is driven by latent heat of condensation, and we have discussed that in details, right? So latent heat is what? The hidden heat which is released when you have this cloud formation and when moisture is actually released by condensation process. So this heat is there which further aggravates this rising air and further more rainfall happens. So this is what the driving factor means. So latent heat of condensation is the main driving force behind tropical cyclone formation and its intensification. Remember, from early stage, seeding stage to maturity to the rise. So this is what we see, that latent heat actually plays a pivotal role, and ocean water keeps adding moisture and it gains strength and it has more heat, right? So that is where heat of vaporization in the initial phase, and that again translates to the latent heat of condensation in later stage, which actually contributes more to the tropical cyclone intensification. But what is there in temperate one? See, the energy of temperate cyclone depends upon what? The air masses and their density. Why? Because here you have two different air masses collaborating or kind of fighting with each other, not collaborating if you see, they're actually interacting, right? So warm air mass and cold air mass is actually mixing here and their density varies. So denser will subside, they will occupy the lower ground surface, the lighter will go above, and this is this entire mechanism that we study. So this is important in terms of the comparison of these tropical cyclone and temperate cyclone on the basis of these parameters that we have discussed. So if you understand this comparison, it is important to note that these are certain parameters on which these vary. Importantly, what we see here, not just that one is in the tropics and the other is in the temperate belt. This is a major difference than one occupies Hadley cell, one occupies Ferrel cell, that is fine. But all the other parameters are also equally important when we talk about the comparison of these tropical and temperate cyclones. And finally, let's understand the final comparison table here, that is surface anticyclones and influence on India and clouds. So in terms of surface anticyclone formation, in terms of tropical cyclone, what happens? Tropical cyclones are not associated, remember this is a catch here, with surface anticyclones, and they have a greater destructive capacity, which is important. But remember what happens in temperate one. The temperate cyclones are associated with anticyclones. Remember why? Heavier air sits down, this air is pushed away. This is what the important anticyclonic circulation is about, from moving away from the center. So basically what happens, this anticyclones which precede and succeed a cyclone is important here. So before and after, it is an anticyclone, remember, from where this cyclogenesis happens in temperate cyclone. So this is important. Now if you look into this Indian context, tropical cyclone, obviously India lies majorly into tropics and subtropics, so the entire coastline of India is heavily affected. Specifically, the eastern coast is a hot spot. The Bay of Bengal is the hot spot as we see, right? But what about temperate cyclone? Only the north and northwestern part of India, remember, it is influenced by western disturbances, that is extratropical cyclone, which is temperate cyclone, also called the Mediterranean winds, that is part of the western disturbances, that these winds coming from west gains moisture in the Mediterranean and actually brings rain when it comes down to the Indian subcontinent, especially the northwest India. So that is important here. And in terms of cloud formation, if you see, the tropical cyclones exhibit fewer varieties of clouds, like cumulonimbus and nimbostratus are larger variety. These are the two major varieties. But remember, temperate cyclones show a variety of cloud development at various elevations. So it has multi-layered cloud variations developments. So all the family of clouds are largely part of this temperate cyclone. So this is a comparison on the basis of clouds. Then further, there is something that we need to remember, and this is what is the last point here. So remember this, what is a Fujiwara effect? This is one interesting topic. So in certain instances, what happens? Two cyclones move toward each other. Remember, one cyclone is coming here, other is coming here, and they revolve around one another. Remember? So what happens? The smaller and less intense. What happens to this? Moving more quickly. Remember, which is smaller and which is less intense moves more quickly. This phenomena is called Fujiwara effect. So this is one effect that we need to remember when two cyclones are actually meeting. So in that, what happens? They start revolving around each other, and which one moves faster? Which is actually smaller and less intense. It is lighter, so it will move faster, and that is how it is collaborated together, and that is when this effect of whirl is created, which is called Fujiwara effect. So that is to remember. So now, when we understood the concept of tropical cyclone, temperate cyclone, their comparisons, in the sessions to come, we will be talking more on different topics of climatology. So stay tuned, stay safe, all the best.